Good morning.
Good morning, sunshine.
Monday morning.
On a cloudy day.
We were just talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
I used to watch that as a kid. I had the books, I had the costumes, I had the little figurines. If I still had all those figurines, they would be definitely worth some collectible money. My brother and I, that's one of the cartoons we watched every Saturday morning. We'd sit down with our huge box of junk cereal and we'd, cross our legs on
Splinter
the
was
floor.
the good guy. Shredder was the bad guy, right?
Right. Yeah, he was like the villain.
Yeah.
Splinter was a rat, and he trained the
They
turtles.
lived in the sewer and they ate pizza, right?
Yep. And they all had colored eye bands and different weapons.
They were all like named after artists like Leonardo,
Michelangelo,
Raphael, Michelangelo.
Yep.
Interesting, man. I haven't seen that in a long time. I didn't really watch, I didn't have a show. I think we talked about it in a prior work podcast, but I watched Dragon Ball Z when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But that was the only show that really stands out as being one that I got into.
I used to watch Turtles and DuckTales was another big one.
I watched that, I think, and then they were hockey playing, right? That was Mighty Ducks.
That's Mighty Ducks. Yeah.
Mighty Ducks,
DuckTales was the I think they were like triplets, Little Ducks and Scrooge. No, I forget.
Yep.
Anywho,
speaking of shows and movies, we had our last team day on Thursday last week.
Yeah.
We got the projector. We had a whole bunch of lawn chairs.
We had a
pizza
fire
going.
party.
We had a keto pizza party. That was pretty good little shindig.
That was awesome.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I feel like it got pretty cold.
It was like 45 when I left.
It was pretty chilly.
Yeah. We were watching a movie outside.
We watched a movie outside. The
So-
kiddos were getting cold. Blankets galore. Mm-hmm. But it was good. It was a good, enjoyable way to spend the evening.
Yep.
Faux show. So we don't really have a planned topic today, which we typically don't, but it's been kind of a weird little bit here at the Keto Brick compound because last week was spring cleaning in the fall. This week is additional spring cleaning in the fall. People probably don't want to hear about us cleaning things. But we're just getting ready for all the stuff that is on the horizon, of which I guess we can allude a little bit more into that. So we've got 2 new flavors dropping with bricks before the end of the year. So that's exciting.
Are they new or are they?
One of them is new, and one of them has not made an appearance
In a couple
for
of years.
2 years.
Yeah.
So that will be a good one. Honestly, it's probably my favorite flavor.
Yeah.
I think it's probably my favorite flavor. I say that about a lot of them, but it's probably my favorite flavor.
I'm secretly praying and hoping and manifesting that there's a pretty decent handful that don't make the cut quality
I don't want
wise.
that because then it just costs.
That's why that's why I'm secretly doing it.
Secretly doing it
Because I don't want to wish us a loss in profit or sellable,
it wouldn't be good.
finished goods. But if there's a handful of them that us employees have to do something with, that's the flavor. That's
the one
flavor.
That's the one. So yeah, I'm excited about that. And then so that's the brick side of things. And then as far as the conference side of things goes, we're going to Hack Your Health.
Jeez, I almost forgot about
in
that.
2 weeks or something, right?
Dude, that is coming up super fast.
I'm going to Deer Camp this weekend, and then I think the next weekend's Hack Your Health.
Wow. This is literally next week.
Yeah. Not this week, but next
Yeah,
week.
right.
We leave on Friday.
I think we're flying on Friday.
So we fly out for that. We'll be in Tampa. And I texted Danny. Danny texted me happy birthday.
Danny
so
Vega?
So I told him that we're going to be in Tampa, and he's going to try and meet up and get a lift in with us.
Cool.
So that'll be good.
Nice. What about Dom? Were you going to try to connect with Dom at all?
Yeah, we'll try and connect with Dom. I want to try and go over there and do some work on his place. I can't really fly with a chainsaw, but
I think TSA may frown upon it.
they may frown upon it. But I want to go over there with my work gloves at least and work on his ranch a little bit.
Cool.
Because Dom's a good dude.
Bring an extra pair. I'll help you out.
Yeah, that'd be good. And then he's got a full-blown gym set up on his farm, so you can do some.
Heck yeah.
Dom is one of those guys that he's like a sleeper in the sense that people don't assume he's yoked because he's incredibly intelligent and he never shows off his arms. He's always wearing a button-up shirt, always looks the part of an academic because he is. But then he is a beast, man. Most people don't know that he used to compete in bodybuilding, and if they're actually following his personal Instagram and they see some of the weights he's pushing, like he is a stud, dude.
Sweet.
I mean, repping like freaking 5 plates, no problemo, in a squat rack in his barn. You know, I mean, pretty impressive stuff.
That's cool.
So yeah, I got a lot of respect for Dom. And then, so we got that. I'm speaking on the food addiction panel.
You're speaking, and then there's a VIP dinner one night, right?
I think there's a couple different events we're going to. There's Meat Stock's got a dinner. I think that's on Saturday night, maybe. So we'll do that.
Okay, yeah.
And then there's another thing Sunday. When are we flying out? Monday or Sunday?
I forget.
I think Sunday.
Yeah, I forget. It's kind of a quick turnaround for us.
Yeah, and I think I speak on Saturday. So we'll do that. And then, so I got deer camp this weekend. I'm going to leave early Friday, try and fill the freezer with venison. If I get some on the ground, I'll come back as early as possible on Sunday so Crystal and I can process. And then next week, we're doing production because we'll be done with our fall cleaning. And then we leave on Friday for Hack Your Health. Get back on Sunday from that. And then the week after that is Thanksgiving, I think. Is it Thanksgiving? Or is there one week in between? So deer camp, Hack Your Health. That's when Worlds is, the WNBF Worlds.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I thought about going to that. I'd like to go to that. But I feel like if I'm gone 3 weekends in a row, Crystal may not like that so much. So I may not go to that one. And then the next weekend is Thanksgiving. So we're doing a light production week then. And we got Thanksgiving. You ever do anything for Thanksgiving? Or are you going to stay here?
I'm going to be around here this year because I'm going to drive back to Minnesota for Christmas for several days.
You're going to stay here?
For Thanksgiving?
Do you want to stay here?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't have any plans.
You can come to our family Thanksgiving.
That's a possibility.
So we can think about that.
Just be hanging out, you know,
It'd be
probably
good.
watching Dr. Phil reruns or something.
Yeah. So if we do that, we got to get somebody to watch both of our dogs. We got to figure that out.
I could board mine.
Can I board mine?
Yeah.
I've never boarded mine before.
Yeah.
I got to look into that. I think the crew will be here. I can pay Bryson to feed him or something.
Or I can just go check in on Diesel while you guys go.
Yeah, or you can come with me. One or the other. We'll figure that out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
And then the weekend after that, we got just a crazy year, man. The weekend after that, one of my clients is competing in her last show. And then we've got...
Then we're in December.
December. We got Christmas.
That's crazy.
And then I'm going to Pennsylvania on New Year's to go goose hunting.
Nice.
So I'm not doing a big hunt like I normally do. I normally go with my buddy Michael and we go elk hunting. And I would love to do this. This is the first year I haven't done that in a while, but I don't have a span of time that free at all. So the Pennsylvania goose hunt's just going to be like a real quick weekend hunt. So we'll do that. And then the deer camp this weekend will be a weekend hunt. So I got to get really productive at getting some meat on the ground.
You need some efficiency. Yep.
Yeah. That's pretty much what we live on. That and whatever we have in the freezer from local ranchers and what we raise ourselves. But we're about to start raising pigs.
I see that.
So that is going to go down in 2 weeks. We're getting those pigs, 4 feeder pigs. Spend all weekend working on a shelter. I'll get that done this week, and then we'll be off to the races.
Then you're going to have a lot of bacon.
A lot of bacon. A lot of bacon.
Good bacon.
Good bacon.
Quality bacon.
It's funny, man. I've been posting a bunch on Twitter or X, I guess now, and I've never really had a bunch of negative feedback or flack from the vegan community, but they've recently started just tearing me up on X.
I think that's a movement across all the platforms right now. I see that on all kinds of carnivore pages, and what's the hatred for? I don't
know. It's weird because I am not demeaning their views. I'm just posting what I enjoy eating and recommend, and then they just, willingly attack me saying that I'm a murderer and I'm killing, 4 sentient beings before breakfast and stuff like that. But I actually try and look at their arguments, and it's weird because what they'll do is they'll respond to my post with pictures or videos of like the worst of the worst factory feedlot scenarios where they're just, really inhumanely slaughtering a bunch of animals.
Yeah, I can agree with that's just inhumane. And
yeah. I mean, nobody that I know is an advocate for that. And I'm certainly not an advocate for that either. But it's weird to me that their rebuttal to me recommending quality, rotationally raised local meat is to send pictures and videos of the worst in factory feedlots. It's like, nobody's advocating for that. I'm certainly not advocating for that. So why do you assume that's where I'm, pointing? But it's like, it's just weird, man. I don't understand the blatant negativity for no reason.
Well, at least it's getting some engagement.
Yeah.
You can look at the positive side of that. At least it's getting some activity.
Yeah. It is weird, though. Like, it's, their arguments don't really stand up when you start breaking them down. And I've brought vegans on the podcast to truly figure out where they're coming from, because I'm a pretty empathetic guy. But they'll talk about inhumanely killing things, but then they don't ever want to talk about how they've killed countless species when they're monocropping a field for their soybeans or whatever. So it's just a weird argument. I don't understand it. And like all the animals, when we raise these pigs, we're going to have 4 feeder pigs, just like we had the 4 lamb. And they had like a luscious life, pristine beauty.
Your animals
foraging
are gonna,
fields. Like they got it made,
Yeah.
And then when it comes time to slaughter, like they're dead and I do all the processing and we eat every morsel. Like it's like, if I was an animal, I'd want to be killed by me,
Put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah. So there's that, but yeah. And when I go hunting this weekend, like I'm gonna go deer hunting, and the deer's gonna be out there eating. He'll be just chilling, enjoying the sunset, and then I'll put a bullet right where it needs to go, and he'll drop instantly and probably be dead before he hits the ground. I mean, that seems like a pretty good way to go too.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like their arguments are interesting ones.
It is. I think there will always be a separation there.
Yeah.
Just the argumentative back and forth. Always.
But it's so unnecessary, because at the end of the day, I feel like the regenerative agriculture movement wants the same thing the vegans want. Like we want to do right by the planet.
It's good for the earth.
Improve biodiversity, increase productivity of livelihood, and it's been shown time and time again that's what regenerative agriculture does. So it's like we're fighting the same fight here. We're just on 2 different battlefronts, and one I feel like is much more rooted in logic than the other.
Yeah, agreed.
But that's neither here nor there.
Anywho.
Last week, we got a couple other things that's in the horizon. So we got that with the bricks. We got that with the conferences. You and I are kind of going through all of keto bodybuilding right now, looking into some content creation ideas, looking into some marketing ideas, some branding concepts, and we're going to be ramping that up, because that has so much potential. That has pretty much very minimal overhead because all the work's already been done. We're just adding new stuff to it. It's got a thriving community of people that are willing and able and desiring to help others. We've got the challenges in there. We've got the retreats in there. We've got so many freaking resources in there. And I don't put affiliate links anywhere publicly, but I put them all in the course. So all of my discounts are there for the people that are in the course.
There's a lot of value hiding in there.
Yeah, so I just want to figure out how to get that out to the public, because I think once people see it, like it's going to sell itself. There's there's no denying the value that's there. And the questions that I continually get inundated with, like all those questions are answered. Like it's literally the one-stop shop for everything you ever need to know to get dialed in.
It's more than you need to know. Like there's things in there that you address that people are like, oh yeah, I never even would have thought of that. Like it just goes so deep.
So I want to get that dialed in. Like that not growing at a better clip is a frustration of mine. So I want to make sure that I'm pulling out the stops from a marketing standpoint and getting it in front of the people that need that.
I feel like it's a lit fuse. Like it's right there on the verge. It's such a quality resource.
Yep. So I got that cooking, and then a big project for next year, apart from relaunching the apparel, which is getting very close. We had a whole bunch of stuff get shipped out.
I am stoked.
Actually, it's getting shipped today.
I'm stoked to see that. Would that be here by the end of the week?
I don't know.
Otherwise, early next week probably.
Yeah, early next week probably. But it's we got 10 pallets of stuff getting shipped today
from Canada.
Yep. So that's going to be exciting. We're going to spend, as soon as that lands, we're going to get it all organized and get it on the site, and then we'll not launch the site initially because the site's live, but we've totally revamped the website for Live Savage Apparel, and then when we relaunch it, it's going to be a totally new look, and we're offering
It's gonna be
stuff
sweet.
that we've never offered before. So I'm excited about
I
that.
may or may not want to purchase one or two of the inbound items.
Well, you're probably going to have a few test items that we'll have to get content of. So that'll just kind of come perks of the trade, I guess.
All right.
So we'll have that, and then we'll have the competition next year, obviously, the retreats next year, which we're kind of getting things dialed in for the Mud Run meetup in February. And then I've already got the next one lined up, which will be second quarter, April, May, June, somewhere in there. We're going to do an entrepreneurial themed retreat. I've already got the guest speaker slated. We don't know where yet, but that's going to be awesome. And then we've got, there's one other big thing what was I talking about? I was talking about apparel.
We got apparel, bricks, competition.
My book, I'm going to record an audio version of that, and I'll launch it on Audible next year as well. So I had a meeting with the Audible podcasting audio format for all Amazon books, and I'll get that recorded, and that'll launch sometime in 2026 too, which is way past time for getting an audio format because people ask me for that all
I was going
the
to
time.
say, there's some people always kind of like, hey, we want Audible.
So that'll be a big project next year. And then we're just focusing on building muscle, man, because 2027, next prep season will be here before you know it.
I know.
So
and this workout split has been kicking my hiney. We did heavy legs today.
Today was the second day of heavy legs.
Oh, man.
And I'm feeling it.
I feel like I could go to sleep right now.
We could.
That was solid. That was super solid.
There's a lot more intensity involved when you've got multiple heavy compound leg movements. This is our longest running day.
Yeah.
The heavy leg hypertrophy delts. It was an hour and 40 minutes, I think.
Yeah, hour and a half-ish.
And I'm pretty whooped, man.
Yeah, we got some solid volume in there. I pushed it heavier than I've pushed those lifts ever in my entire life. And so I've hit like some lifetime PRs, which feels super good. But we had heavy squats. What do we have?
Heavy squats.
Five working sets.
Yeah, heavy squats, and then we did heavy hip thrust, heavy lunges.
Yep.
That was the leg movements.
Those are the 3 leg movers.
And then hyper delts was cable rear delt flies, and then lateral raises, then front raises.
Yep. And then we superset it in a little bit of core ab work and calf extensions or calf raises.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think, too, we got to look at this today, but for those of you that have my workout app, we're going to change it slightly today, and we're going to toggle the option on that allows it to pre-fill the prior workouts numbers. So rather than going back and looking at the history and then adjusting accordingly, it'll have those prior lifts pre-filled in there so that you can just adjust up or down as needed. I think that'll be a little bit of a time saver for people.
Yeah.
So that'll be good.
Otherwise, if we don't, I mean, it's still pretty easy to pull up the history.
Yeah, which is what we did today, but I think it'd be just even easier. Because like there's some things that have 4 sets pre-filled in, but we wind up doing 7 sets. So if it's just pulling in what we did prior lift or prior day's workout, then one less thing to have to manually enter. So that'll be good. And then what else we got cooking? We've got a couple things that I want to get. Is there anything that you want to make sure you have done before you start prep in 2027?
Have done?
Yeah.
As far as what? Like just more blood work, DEXA, that kind of stuff? Or
Well, we'll get blood work and DEXA. That's been on our to-do list for a while.
yeah, we should probably see if we can get that lined up sometime in November.
Blood work in November?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually going to pull the trigger and schedule mine, but I forgot what we scheduled last time, so I wanted to stay kind of consistent.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that.
Maybe we should hit that this week. Like just get something scheduled.
Let's get that scheduled.
But as far as getting things done before starting prep, like what do you mean?
I want to obviously build more muscle, get stronger, all that good stuff. Maintain similar composition to what I'm carrying around now. But I think from like an efficiency standpoint, one thing that I need to have dialed in before I start my next prep is I need to have a travel trailer for my family, because last prep season was total chaos with Rigel at 1.5 years old going from coast to coast. And now that we've got Diesel and Hazen, I think it would be just total mind-numbing chaos.
Yeah, so you're thinking like a nice pull behind?
Yeah, I think so. And honestly, that will pay for itself pretty quickly for like the conferences that we go to. Like that'll just be a worthwhile business investment. I think that would make a prep way more beneficial, because I don't want to fly to a prep and then leave Crystal and the kids at home. And we're going to homeschool initially anyways. So like that will all just be kind of good education for them. Like expose them to new environments, new people, new experiences. So I'm just trying to like mold everything in my life together so that it makes sense and everything benefits.
Plus you can set up a little office workspace in there and, get some stuff done.
Yeah, definitely have to have that, because I'll probably keep up with the podcasting while I'm on the road.
Oh, sure.
So I have that little office / podcast studio.
Sweet. And then you can park. You can just pull that thing in and set up shop at an RV park or a free campground or a parking lot or whatever.
That's the plan.
Cool.
That's the plan.
I don't have any goals like that. No.
That's like the big thing that I need to have before I start my next prep. But in order for that to happen, we need to make more money. So we need to be more solid with all the different business ventures, launching the apparel, getting everything dialed in that regard. But I feel optimistic about everything going forward, because we've gotten, like, taken this week and last week to get organized and get clean, start with a fresh, clean slate. Like, my mind is spinning on all 8 cylinders right now.
We got a lot of stuff cleared out of here that was no longer useful. It didn't serve us anymore. Everything's organized in the places it needs to be. Like, I feel like we're going to be even smoother running machine going forward.
I feel like you and I are on the same page in that our environment is like a reflection of our mind. And if it's chaotic, like I can't work. I can't do mental work if my environment's crazy. Like I gotta clean my office. I gotta get things vacuumed. I gotta get everything dialed in before I can sit down at the computer and be productive.
Like I know a lot of people that do this, but like even before I leave for the weekend or go on a trip or anything like that, I feel like I have to come home to a clean environment at home. Mm-hmm. So I'll clean the heck out of my own place just on the way out the door. Yeah. So that when I get home, it's ready to rock and roll. Like, I wouldn't say a neat freak, but I like things orderly, put away, clean, organized, looking good.
Crystal and I are both like that. It's hard when you have kids, because like I'll clean, or Crystal will clean the house, and then Rigel will just tear up the house. Like it literally, like she cleans the house every single day, and every single day he's demolished it. So it's challenging in that regard, because you're just picking up the same thing 10 times. But like when y'all came over for the movie night, like the house looked orderly. Mm-hmm. But I guarantee, like, as soon as y'all left, he had destroyed everything. Like, it's just how it works, So
he actually started destroying it while we were there.
Yeah, his room was totally destroyed before y'all left. But I guess that's just a chapter in life we're in right now, so you got to embrace it.
That'll go away with time.
Yeah, and I can keep the building clean. Like, when he's here, he destroys things. He's got his own little space to destroy. So chalk and everything is crazy then. But other than that, it's good. So we got that, and then we've got... I don't want to give too much away, because there's a couple other big things that are not solidified yet. Mm-hmm. And I don't like pulling the trigger before it's solid. But summarize all of that to say we got some pretty big projects in 2026. Like 2026, I like having themes for each year. 2025, we had Hazen, so that was a pretty big thing. 2026, we don't have any babies in the pipeline. We're not competing in 2026. So it's just going to be like maximizing all opportunities within the business and getting dialed in there. And on the personal side, raising the kiddos in the homesteading front. Mm-hmm. But then 2027, we'll have the prep. So basically, you and I are both going to be in the zone 2027. So we need to have all of the systems in place throughout 2026 so that things are running efficiently, optimally, and without hiccups while we're competing.
Yes.
So that's the plan there. And then we'll just be branding, promoting, storytelling, all that stuff along the way. So it'll be good.
I'm excited for a prep. I mean, I just came out of one, but I'm excited to grow and then prep again.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to spend time in the building phase. Like we talk about every time we talk about building. Like people just got to embrace that phase, being in the fed state. And Chris, I know he listens to this podcast. He'll probably comment on us talking about it.
Oh, yeah.
Chris was at my show. He competed a few months ago. Mm-hmm. I guess it's been about a month and a half now since the show.
Yeah, end of September.
Yeah, so just over a month.
Yep.
And he is planning on doing it again next year, which is awesome. Look forward to seeing him. But I always like taking time off in between shows. But he's doing like a totally different approach. So he's not keto. I think he's going to dabble around with it though. He's eating the bricks.
He likes the bricks.
He likes the bricks.
What I see.
We'll get him to take the leap. But his training style is totally different too. So he's doing like a high intensity Mike Mincer style training, every 6 to 7 days, training for 10 minutes every 6 to 7 days. Pretty crazy. Contrast that with our hour and 40-minute heavy leg and hyper delt workout today. But he's been in some of these comments on the YouTube video, and he's wanting to do like a comparison over 6 months, see the difference in growth between our split and his high intensity split. So we'll have to do just that. We'll have to compare notes and see what's up. I mean, he looked great at the show, so I can't knock him at all there.
He did, yeah. I mean, when I first saw
it.
him at Ozark, kind of that day before, or it was check-in day or whatever, he was dialed.
Yeah. And some people are able to really rock that, very low frequency, high intensity. And I like intensity. Like, I'm not knocking intensity. I mean, when we go heavy, we go hard. But I feel like, especially if you're natural, there's a certain degree of volume that needs to be met to optimize growth. Of course, you have to contrast that with your schedule. And I know he travels a lot, so he doesn't have a whole lot of time to train. And anything's obviously better than nothing. But I am curious to see his growth over the next 6 months with so little total volume and frequency relative to ours with this new split.
Right.
So it'll be interesting.
It will be interesting. I think I like training too much to only do that short amount every week or every day.
Yeah, I mean, for me, training...
I look forward to it. It's a mental release.
Yeah.
It's like endorphins. It's like you feel so good. I like having sore muscles in the morning. Like,
yeah.
I look forward to it. It's like usually the best part of my day.
To me, it's kind of like cold plunging in the sense that there's a hormetic effect to it, but like the habit of doing it sets me up for success for the rest of the day. And if I have, several non-consecutive days of a habit that I want to improve upon, then that's just all in disarray. Whereas like if I wake up knowing what my morning's looking like, which is going to consist of, cold plunge training, yada, 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 then it's just, there's a non-negotiable. It just happens. And then everything else builds from them. Speaking of cold plunging, I need to get that set up because it's starting to get cold again.
You're going to set it up here or at home?
What I've been doing is just have that stock tank, that horse trough that I set up on that back porch at the house.
Oh, yeah.
I would like to get one that is actually a filtered. I mean, we have one chest freezer back there that's not functional. I could totally convert that into a cold plunge and have one here.
I think they make, units that you can just insert into that, right? So there's an in and an out tube.
Yeah, you'd have to seal the chest freezer seams. A lot of people like paint that in. They seal it really good. And then you would have to, put a chilling unit in there, and depending on how fancy you wanted to get, a filtration device. But that would be the budget way to go about it, beyond just the stock tank. But, I mean, the real, like, cold plunges that are made as cold plunges, like, they're just crazy expensive,
They're crazy expensive.
And, like, you could buy all the components from Amazon and not spend near as much as what they're charging for the unit itself. And I like them. They're, like, efficient. They're effective. It's like plug and play. But, man, it'd be hard for me to justify buying one of those if I could just build it for much less.
Right. I mean, it doesn't have to look fancy to be functional.
Yeah.
It's not something you put on display. It's something that you just use for
If I had one here,
reason.
would you use it?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
And we'd set it up. You'd want to do it before you train, though.
Okay.
But you get here typically a little bit earlier than me anyway, so you can jump in there. And, you got here at 5:15 today?
Yeah.
You got here way earlier than me. I'm always like 3 minutes late.
That's okay. I'm used to it. I'm like, okay, if I get there at 5:15, that gives me like 20 minutes to do this, plug in my computer, get all set up, charge my phone, check some emails, check out my clients,
I was waking up, I had my alarm set at 3, but I switched that to 4. And then I wake up, have a cup of coffee, read the devotional, and then I'd work on clients and emails. And then I leave my house by 5:15. But by the time I get out, unlock the gate, load everything up, it's actually like 5:20. It's about 10 minutes to get here. So usually I'm rolling in at like 5:32, 5:33.
Yeah.
But it's consistently 5:30.
It is. I just know that that's when I'll expect you. So I just plan accordingly. But I usually drink my pre-workout before I leave my place.
Yeah.
And it's a 15, 20 minute drive. It's 18 minutes when there's no traffic early in the morning like today. 18 minutes, and then it gives me a chance to kind of settle in for 10 minutes, and then you show up and we hit it.
Yeah, I don't want to have the reputation of being late to things though.
You have a child, so like I totally get it that things can be.
Yeah, but he's asleep when I wake up, so that's no excuse. That's no excuse.
All right.
And I'm not late to like podcasts. I'm not late to anything like meetings. I'm late to our morning gym. And I think part of the reason I'm late is because I know you've got your little routine too, and you just do it.
And I'm here anyways. It's not as if we are going to train and then leave.
Yeah.
We train and we go to work.
Yeah.
So if we start 10 minutes after 5:30 or 10 minutes before 5:30 or 6, it's no big deal.
Yeah, it's kind of weird now with the time change though, because I usually run after training, and I got to figure this out. So before the time shift, it was dark longer, right?
Later.
Yeah. So if we finished working out at 7, it was still dark, and I couldn't run until probably like 7:30, which is cutting me close to the morning meeting at 8.
Yeah. So now it should be light out.
So now it should be light out. But it gets dark earlier. It was dark at like 6 p.m. last night.
It gets dark earlier, but it gets light earlier.
When are they going to do away with that?
I saw a study this morning on Facebook. Somebody else shared it, and it might have been just a screenshot or something. And they said they were talking about how there's an influx or a spike in heart attacks every year the day the clocks change. Because,
what's the reason?
Because of the stressor on the body or the change in amount of quality sleep or whatever. And I'm just thinking, America will literally blame shitty health on anything but diet, movement, food choices. You're seriously going to tell me that the time change gives you a heart attack? It's not your crappy seed oil refined.
Yeah. Speaking of seed oils, I haven't listened to it yet, but I saw that Peter Attia and Lane Norton just did a deep dive on seed oils. Have you listened to that one?
I have not, but I've seen there's a little bit of buzz floating around.
Apparently, they were going to do a debate, and Attia was going to be the moderator, but the person that was against the anti-seed oil guy dropped out. So then Attia and just recorded it with Lane. I don't know who the anti-seed oil guy was.
They're trying to leverage that now and say that it was going to be whoever dropped out of it to be an advocate for anti-seed oils, right? Like they were against them, got scared, or there's no solid evidence or something.
You know who was slated?
I don't remember.
I saw in the comments that they were saying Saladino, but I don't know if that might be just the comments. So I don't know if that was the actual guy.
I don't know.
But I would like to listen to that recording to see what they said, for or against him.
He's an interesting guy.
Which one?
Lane Norton.
Yeah, he is. I've had him on the podcast before, and he's got some really sound stuff.
Some of it
is sound. The thing I don't like about not just him, but a lot of people is they take such a, like you may be brilliant, and he's a very intelligent guy. You can't take that from him. I mean, he's very effective. I mean, he's broken records, powerlifting. I mean, he's a stout dude. He's competed in bodybuilding. He was the motivation for parts of my book. I mean, I sent him a copy and told him I really appreciate him. But what I dislike is that there's just so much unnecessary negativity on social, and finger pointing, blaming, and just belittling. And I just don't feel like that moves the needle forward in either camp. Anyway.
I feel like some of that is just for engagement.
Yeah, but it's just like, it's a sad world we live in if the only way to create growth and engagement on platforms is to
name
be
call
negative. I don't like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I do want to listen to that podcast because it would be an interesting deep dive on seed oils. My stance on seed oils is simple. Like, there may be studies for it, there may be studies against it, but at the end of the day, like the foods that I consume, I try to keep as natural and minimally processed as possible. And of course, Lane, for example, has thrown shade to the natural fallacy, which he's got a point in some regards there. But at the end of the day, like I just feel better about minimal processing because I feel like the closer we can return to the pristine state, the better we'll all be. So it seems like a viable way to go about things.
I agree. Yep. Minimal ingredients possible.
Minimal ingredients. Kind of rambling all kinds of things.
Yeah, we're just hitting it all.
Hitting it all. It's good though.
Where are we at, Chip?
34 minutes.
34 minutes. I do want to do a deep dive on my pyramid at some point, but let's do that after. Let's do that next week.
Okay.
Because next week I will have had the weekend to be on a deer stand thinking, and I had
Bring
the
a
epiphany.
notebook.
Yeah, I will. I will. But I had the epiphany of the pyramid structure on the way to my last hunting camp. So I'll flesh it out in greater detail with this hunting camp, and then I'll be able to speak more eloquently on it come Monday.
So even if you don't nab any fresh venison, it's going to be time well spent.
Yeah, I'll do that. And there's also a book that I want to read while I'm out there hunting. There's a parenting book that Dennis gave us, a good friend of ours. And Crystal's already read it. I started it. I haven't finished it yet, but she said it was super insightful. So I want to read that because Rigel, he's pushing some buttons right now, man. Like he is.
When he comes here to visit, he sometimes can get kind of wound up.
He gets really wound up, and he's just super high energy. And I'm trying to figure out how to discipline someone that you can't really reason with yet, because like consequences, like you would think that he gets consequences, but if there's much time between the action and the consequence, you can't really do that because they don't have a concept of time per se.
Got to catch them in the act, kind
Right.
of like a dog.
Exactly. So how do you discipline a child in the moment if you don't want to spank them? And like, for instance, we were at church the other day and he was just going crazy and being loud and disrespectful and obnoxious. So it's like, how do you discipline a kid in that situation? Do you take him out of church? Maybe, but like we want to be in church, so we don't want to remove the situation there. We're not going to spank him. He doesn't really have a toy that I can take away. I can't really threaten to say, hey, if you act up now, then you don't get your toy later, because that might be 3 hours later.
That doesn't make sense to him.
Doesn't make sense to him. So that's kind of what we're trying to figure out right now. So I'm going to read this book, see if I glean any insight from it. And because like parenting, you don't want to break their spirit, because it's good that he's got so much energy and passion and spirit. But at the same time, you don't want him to be spoiled and get away with things that he shouldn't. And I feel like I'm going to be able to shine as a parent the moment he's able to comprehend consequences and be able to reason, because then I could like be very stoic with him, be like, hey, let's rationally think about this. What is logical in light of the situation? But like, I can't talk to him like that just yet.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of
in
floundering.
that weird age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that. I got to work on that this weekend too.
There you go.
Yep. But deer stand's a good place to think. You got any things exciting this weekend? You gonna go
I'm
hiking?
going to go hiking. Heck yeah. I went hiking this past weekend at Devil's Den, and shorts and t-shirt weather. It was crazy. In the 60s. It was busy. It's usually busy on the weekends, but I think the fall colors changing and everything like that kind of brings extra people out. So
The fall colors are on point right now.
yeah, they are. They're not quite peaking there. I don't think, but the scenery was awesome. The fresh air was awesome. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. Got in several miles there. So I'm going to figure out somewhere cool to go on Saturday this weekend, and
Go to Whitaker's Point, man.
I think I'm going to check it out.
When I went there, I've only been there once, and I think when I went there, I took the wrong way. I got there, but I had to go like way off on this super steep, gnarly dirt road with like crevices all in it.
Oh, the drive there?
Yeah, like you would have had to have a truck the way that I went, but that can't be the main road because so many people go there.
Yeah.
And I think I just took some back road that took me there. So like, don't go that way. You won't be able to make it.
I will definitely not go that way.
But there's definitely a more traveled path to get there.
Okay.
But it's worth the drive. I think it's like 45 minutes or an hour away.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I can go up to a couple hours, get a few hours of hiking and come back, let my dogs do their thing at home. So
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. All right, Greg, let's call it a wrap on today.
All right.
Knock some things out and hit it hard.
Adios.
Ta-ta.